All right, welcome to day 8 live. As you can maybe tell, I'm trying something new again, and I tried to record earlier today, and I was streaming live, and it boot me out like 2 minutes in. Like I must have lost internet connection or something. So I'm like, well, I guess that's a sign to try something new again. But today we're live again, day 8 of 30, talking about Jacques Philippe searching for maintaining peace. I'd love to hear how you're doing, but put an emoji in the chat. Not words, but an emoji. If you need to explain the emoji a little bit, we can have some wiggle room there. So let me know below as you're listening to this or catching the replay how you're doing. I would love to see that. And I know emojis could be funny things. So I would love to see that from you guys. Yesterday we talked about goodwill as the necessary condition for peace. And what does Jacques Philippe define as goodwill? It's this habitual disposition to keep trying. It's not perfection. It's not sainthood achieved, but it's this disposition to keep trying, to recognize that we have shortcomings and hesitations, and we need to be patient with ourselves. But it's this habitual drive towards the good, and even when we fall, even when we fail. And today he talks about the condition that is sufficient for finding peace and maintaining peace. And it's the same thing, it's the goodwill. So it comes back to having this disposition, this drive for holiness. And he quotes from St. Therese in this chapter, so chapter 7, if you're following along at home with your own copy of Searching for Maintaining Peace. And in chapter 7, he talks about Therese and one of her sisters, and her sisters just flooded with all of these trials and tribulations. And she reads from another saint, Saint Gertrude, I believe, about how, like the Lord allows these things for us for our own good. And as like through these weaknesses, these trials, that he speaks through it. And so it's just yet another example where it's our trust in the Lord that we want to return back to, and not our trust in ourselves or our self-sufficient manners of perfectionism that bring us peace. In fact, those bring us the opposite of peace. They might work for a while, but inevitably leave us in places of deep anxiety. And Therese affirms that in her sister, saying, not only is it like the goodwill and like submitting ourselves and our littleness to the Lord, but also the enemy. She like quotes from a priest, Father Seraph, maybe is the name. I can't remember off the top of my head, but she quotes a priest, and the priest says he was trying to do an exorcism, and they heard the demon speaking, and they're like, we could have control over this person if it wasn't for the bloody dog of goodwill, right? So this goodwill, this habitual disposition towards the good, and Jacques Philippe even defines it in the last chapter. The foundation of this goodwill are the virtues faith, hope, and love, right? Faith, hope, and love. And so returning back to those and asking the Lord for those virtues and increase in those virtues, to want to be holy. We want to come back to that time and time again. Like that's the thing that drives us, is this want to be holy. So that's what I got for you guys today. Let me know what you think of this live, a little bit different, taking you on a walk. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below, even if you're catching the replay, and we'll catch you tomorrow. God bless.